trash like you don't belong here!
That's enough! Step back!
Imagine enrolling in a new school only to be bullied by a boy whose father runs the building while every teacher pretends not to see it. That's exactly what happened to Jalen when he transferred into Ridgeway Falls High School. The first day, Jalen walked through the doors of Ridgeway Falls High School. Everyone knew he was new, not because a teacher announced him, but because he was black, quiet, and standing in a school where almost every face was white. Hallways buzzed with whispers as he passed. Eyes followed him, some curious, some amused, some already hostile. He took a seat in homeroom and kept his head down. He'd been taught to do that. Don't draw attention, don't react. Get through the day. But attention found Jalen anyway. At the back of the class sat Logan Pierce, the most feared student in the school. Loud, popular, cruel. Logan never hid his racism because he never had to. His father was the principal. Everyone knew it. So teachers laughed off his comments. Detentions vanished. Complaints went nowhere. Logan ruled the building without ever raising his voice. When Jalen introduced himself, Logan smirked. "Guess they're lowering standards now," he muttered, loud enough for the room to hear. The teacher pretended to adjust papers. That was how it started. In the hallways, Logan and his friends blocked paths, shoulder-checking Jalen as they passed. In class, jokes landed just softly enough to avoid discipline. At lunch, seats emptied when Jalen approached. Every insult was measured, deliberate, practiced. Jalen told himself it was temporary. First week, nerves, new kid treatment. He'd seen worse online. He believed if he stayed quiet, they'd lose interest. Reporting it wouldn't help. Everyone knew who Logan's father was. By Friday, it was clear they weren't getting bored. Logan leaned close at Jalen's locker. "You don't belong here," he said calmly. Jalen didn't respond. He closed his locker and walked away. Behind him, Logan smiled. Other students watched from a distance, saying nothing. Some looked uncomfortable. Others looked relieved it wasn't them. Teachers saw pieces of it and turned away. By the end of the week, the message was clear. This school had already decided who mattered, and Jalen was alone. Friday afternoon dragged longer than the rest of the week combined. By the time the final bell rang, Jalen already knew his dad wasn't going to make it on time. A short text confirmed it. "Running late, wait for me." Jalen didn't mind. Waiting had become familiar. Instead of standing alone by the school gates, Jalen walked a few blocks down to Pinecrest Market near the edge of town. It was quieter there. Fewer students, fewer eyes. He bought a cheap burger and a drink and sat on a bench just outside the store, backpack at his feet, trying to kill time. That was when Logan saw him. Logan and his friends had been circling the area, bored, restless, looking for something to do. When Logan spotted Jalen sitting alone, something sharp flickered in his eyes. No teachers, no cameras outside the store, no witnesses who would dare speak up. It was perfect. They crossed the street slowly, laughing among themselves. "Look at this," Logan said as they approached. "All by yourself?" Jalen glanced up but didn't answer. "What are you doing here?" one of them asked. "Scoping the place out? That what you people do?" Jalen tightened his grip on the paper bag. "I'm waiting for my dad." That only made them laugh. "Yeah?" Logan said. "What's he waiting on? A getaway car?" Another boy stepped closer. Probably his partner in crime. Jalen stood up, trying to move past them. That's when one of them snatched the burger from his hand. Another grabbed the drink. "Hey!" Jalen reached for it, but his foot caught on something. A leg. Deliberate. Jalen went down hard, face first against the pavement. Pain exploded across his cheek before he could even react. Laughter erupted. "Get up," someone said. "Or is that too hard?" A kick landed against his side. Then another. "Why are you even in our town?" Logan said calmly. "Better yet, why are you in our school?" Jalen curled inward, arms up, trying to protect himself. "Leave," Logan continued. "That's what you're going to do. Leave the school." One of them bent down, picked up the burger, spat on it, and shoved it toward Jalen's face. "Eat it!" Another boy pulled out his phone, already recording. "Eat it! Eat it!" Logan repeated. Jalen shook his head, a foot pressed against his shoulder, forcing him down. The phone camera moved closer, capturing everything, the dirt, the spit, the shaking hands. "Do it," someone said. Jalen reached out slowly, fingers closing around the ruined burger. The laughter grew louder. None of them noticed the sound of hurried footsteps rushing toward them until it was too late. Jalen's hands were shaking as he held the burger. The smell alone made his stomach turn, but the pressure didn't let up. A foot stayed planted against his shoulder, heavy enough to keep him down. The boy with the phone circled slowly, angling for a better shot, laughing as the camera zoomed in on Jalen's face. "Go on," Logan said. "Show everyone what you really are." Jalen tried to pull back, but another kick landed against his leg. Not hard enough to break anything, just hard enough to hurt. Just hard enough to remind him he had no control. "Eat it," someone repeated. Jalen brought the burger closer, eyes burning. The laughter echoed off the store windows. People inside glanced out, then looked away. Mr. Halverson, the store owner, stood just inside the doorway, frozen, hands clenched, saying nothing. Everyone knew Logan's father. Everyone knew what happened when you crossed that family. Jalen took a small bite. The laughter exploded. "There you go," Logan said. "Good boy." Have you ever seen a student targeted just for existing, bullied, isolated, and pushed to the edge because of the color of their skin? What would you do if the person leading that abuse was protected by power, while every adult around stayed silent? Before we go further, what city or country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. We love seeing where you're tuning in from. If you believe no child should be terrorized at school and authority should protect the vulnerable instead of shielding bullies, smash that like button and subscribe to Story Arc. The phone moved closer, capturing everything. The spit, the humiliation, the moment. Then it happened. A hand shot in from the side and ripped the phone away so fast the boy holding it stumbled backward. At the same time, a powerful arm grabbed Jalen and pulled him up and away. "Get away from my son!" The voice cut through the noise like a gunshot. The boys spun around. A black man in a police uniform stood between them and Jalen, his jaw tight, eyes burning. One hand held the phone. The other was braced protectively in front of Jalen. For half a second, no one spoke. Then Logan laughed. "Oh, wow," Logan said. "It's a cop." Another boy snorted. "Relax. It's not like you can do anything." Jalen felt the man's hands steady on his shoulder. "Your son's trash," Logan added, nodding toward Jalen. "This is how we treat people like him." The man's expression didn't change. Logan stepped closer, confident. "You might want to back off," he said. "My dad's the principal. My mom's a lawyer." The other boys grinned. "You touch us," Logan continued, "and you're done." The man finally spoke again, his voice low and controlled. "I don't care who your parents are," Logan scoffed. "That's funny," he said, "because you should." The man reached slowly to his belt. Metal cuffs caught the light. "Turn around," he said. Logan laughed louder. "My mom knows the police chief. We'll be out before you finish the paperwork." The man looked Logan straight in the eyes. "That's interesting," he said calmly, "because I'm him." The laughter died instantly. Logan's smile faltered just for a second before he tried to recover. "Yeah, right," he said. "You think I'm stupid?" The man didn't raise his voice. He didn't argue. He simply reached into his pocket and pulled out his badge, holding it up long enough for all of them to see. Then he stated his name clearly and evenly, the way someone used to command did when they didn't need permission to be believed. "My name is Raymond Knox," he said. "I'm the new police chief of Stonebrook County. That's why Jalen and I moved here." Silence dropped like a weight. Logan's face drained of color. One of the boys stepped back. Another swallowed hard. "You're lying," Logan muttered, but his voice had lost its edge. "I'm not," Chief Knox replied, "and neither your father nor your mother can save you from what happens next." He turned Jalen gently behind him, then faced the boys again. "Hands behind your backs. Now." No one laughed this time. The cuffs clicked shut around Logan's wrists first, then the others. The phone was bagged as evidence, the recording still open on the screen. Jalen stood frozen, watching as the world he'd been trapped in all week suddenly cracked apart. Police cars arrived minutes later. Real ones. Not favors. Not warnings. Procedure. What followed moved fast. The footage exposed more than one incident. Reports buried by the school. Complaints ignored. Patterns that went back years. Investigators dug deeper, and the truth spilled out quickly once it started. Logan's father was removed from his position before the week ended. The evidence showed bias, intimidation, and deliberate protection of his son. His authority collapsed the moment it was examined. Logan's mother didn't fare any better. Records revealed backdoor calls, pressure placed on the former police chief Walter Haynes, and favors exchanged to keep her son untouchable. Her license was suspended pending charges. Logan and his friends were charged, not just for that day, but for what had been hidden before. Jalen returned to school the following week. This time, teachers met his eyes. Students stepped aside. Whispers changed tone. The halls felt different, not kinder, but quieter. Careful. The rules hadn't changed. The truth had. If you believe no child should have to endure racism just to get an education, and silence from adults is just another form of violence, then smash that like button and subscribe to Story Arc.